cold. I remember the last night, I said, my goodness, you gotta go home and take care of yourself, and she did. And she's had 1 year of tremendous challenge. But here she is. And she heard Richard Davis loud and clear, and she got up in the middle of the night and wrote her story. And she sent it to me. And she said, I had to do it. And I have gone as far as to ask Lori to read her story to you, because it's that great for me, it's that inspirational. And I just want each and every one of you out there to know what this President's Club means to so many people. And I want each and every one of you to say to yourself, hey, I can do it. I can be next year at St. Thomas. I can be every President's Club from this point forward. So, Lori, thank you.
Greatest fear is being up here. So, God has a funny way of working things. I told him back in April that if by some miracle I can make club this year and circle, if I'm going to ask, and if the opportunity presented itself, I'd get on stage in Hawaii and tell my story. I thought I was off the hook until I got to Hawaii and Dan asked me to get up here and tell you my story. So I'm going to read my U.S. Bank journey to you. My story began in 1998 in a small rural town in Kentucky. I was hired by a hometown local bank, but was told the reason for my hire was due to a change in how they do mortgages, because they had been acquired by a larger bank, Mercantile. Their new focus in mortgage would be sales-oriented. I explained to them at the time that I didn't have any finance or banking background, and that my major in college was marketing, and all my jobs had revolved around sales up to that point. They said, "You're exactly what we're looking for. We'll teach you the banking part." And so my new life began. I was inundated with terms like LTV, DTI, PMI, and so many other acronyms that I never had heard before. And I questioned if I could really learn all of this. My intimidation back then soon turned into my second language. I quickly caught on and realized how easy it was to sell a product that was the best in town. I acquired a passion for helping others realize their dream of home ownership. I knew then that I found a career with a company that I wanted to grow old with. My business grew, and I rolled with banking name changes all the way to U.S. Bank. I achieved my first President's Club status in 2001. The first class trip, combined with the friendships I've forged there, were just priceless. I came back even more determined and motivated to do the best job I could possibly do for U.S. Bank. I knew I never wanted to miss one of these trips in the future. I've always been one of strong faith. I believe God puts people in situations in our life for a reason. I know His plans for me and the path He has for me is greater than anything I could dream for myself. An unexpected blessing happened in my life in 2004. I started dating the love of my life and my now husband, Mark. We met at U.S. Bank, where he was in our mortgage division in St. Louis. We dated long distance for a year, and then I asked for a transfer. I would have to start building my business from the ground up in the big city, where I didn't know anyone. I left my small hometown, where I'd spent the first 37 years of my life. It was exciting and scary at the same time. I was leaving lifelong friends, family, and a thriving business I had worked so hard to build. However, I knew this leap of faith was well worth it all, and chose to follow my heart. I was joining a team as part of the #1 bank in St. Louis, and I was starting a new life with my best friend. U.S. Bank Home Mortgage, nor Mark, would allow me to fail. The mortgage division had provided me with the knowledge, tools, and opportunity. while Mark provided the support I needed to thrive. I'm a positive person who's determined to succeed no matter what the obstacle, and I took on this challenge head on. It was tough, but I took it one client at a time, and I can proudly say that I only missed making President's Club that year. I moved, and by 2006, I had built my business in the big city. It was official, I had survived. I realized that if you care and have compassion, people are all the same. They just want to be special and want to deal with a bank and loan officer they trust. That's how I try to approach everyone. I didn't realize until last year that my job at U.S. Bank would present life lessons for me that would become so critical to my survival. The week after arriving home from the President's Club trip in 2012, I got the phone call that no one wants to get. The doctor on the other end of the line said, "You have cancer." In the weeks to follow, I would find out that I had stage 3 breast cancer at the age of 44. I approached this fight with all the personal traits that I had been using for 14 years at U.S. Bank. Attributes like positive attitude, honesty, compassion, gratitude, and determination to succeed. The next 6 months would be filled with chemo, 3 surgeries, lots of time in bed, and coming to terms with being bald like many others. But it was also filled with emails, cards, phone calls, prayers, and gifts from many friends and family. Some of my biggest sources of strength came from those friends and coworkers that I'd met a decade earlier on a U.S. Bank trip. And I only saw these people once a year. Why? Because U.S. Bank promotes an atmosphere where we are family and we have compassion for each other. I gained the inspiration I needed to fight daily, from coworkers all the way up the ranks to the president of U.S. Bank Home Mortgage, Dana Aragoni. They all went out of their way to offer their kind words and support during this very difficult time. I was determined to prove something last year, or maybe God just really wanted to show how big He is. I finished 2012 with more production than I've ever done in 1 year. I made President's Club and Circle, and all of this while fighting for my life. The celebration this year means much more to me than a trip. It is a celebration of what we can do when we keep a positive attitude and a heart of gratitude. It is proof that miracles do happen when you have faith. I'm truly blessed to work, or I should say share my life, with such an amazing company full of some of the most compassionate and wonderful people I'll ever meet. Some of my dearest friends are in my life because of this institution. U.S. Bank has shaped my life and provided me with opportunities that I once dreamed about. I have a husband I love and a career I enjoy immensely because of this company. U.S. Bank has changed my story personally and professionally for the better, and I can't be more grateful. When there's something you love and you're good at, you give your life to it. It becomes a spiritual thing, a joy thing. Thank you all.